Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that tell us the truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and also to the believers that across the four corners of the earth, the whole feet elect to USA. Shalom. And so the title of this lesson is going to be simply called Idolatry. All right. And we're going to take a look into how Esau is incorporating his artificial intelligence, to pave the way for this new world that he wants to create, which is called the Fourth Industrial Revolution, in which man will be merged with machine. All right. Something called transhumanism. And, idols, as these devils understand, are the ultimate snare unto you Israelites. And they know that they cannot rule unless you're dwelling within idolatry. So this whole world that we see governed by the so-called white man is produced or sustained by idolatry. Things that cause you to go off against your power. And it's only by the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shemel Shah that he has called us who truly understand what's going on out of darkness, from these idols of the world that we understand now was a snare unto this, to serve the living power of Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai. And that's by subscribing to this testimony and believing in his truth. All right. So before we get into this, let's go to the book of 1 John, the 5th chapter. And we'll start at verse 18. Now it says, we know that whosoever is born of the Most High Yahweh sinneth not. And how is that possible? But once you're reborn in the spirit, by the way, this word, which is ultimately our Lord Yahweh Shai, you become a new creature in spirit. All right, your flesh really doesn't even matter at that point. And that's the sole reason why Yahweh Shai had to be that sacrifice for the atonement for the sins of the elect, so that we won't be judged by the flesh. So as long as we are reborn and we stay within the body of Yahweh Shai by believing in his testimony, then we cannot sin. All right, it's as simple as that. So again, we know that whatsoever is born of the Most High sinneth not, but he that is begotten of Yahweh keepeth himself. All right, you keep yourself from these idols, these philosophies and doctrines that are contrary, and that wicked one toucheth him not, that is Esau. And we know that we are of the Most High Yahweh, and the whole world lieth in wickedness, and we know this to be true. And you have been exposed to the truth, and you see it clearly. It says, we know that the Son of the Most High Yahweh is come and have given us an understanding of what? Right from wrong. It says that we may know him that is true, and we are in him that is true. Even in his Son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, this is the true power and eternal life. So it says, little children, keep yourselves from idols. Amen. You see? So the sole objective, after you've been called into this truth, once you've been cleansed and washed from your filth, is to stay away from idols. All right, to stop polluting yourself, to keep yourself pure and clean, right? So let's take a look into this article. It says inverse.com, Amazon's new invention could let you speak to the dead. Now, speaking to the dead is a foul blot. It's a stain. All right. It's pollution. This is what the Most High Yahweh commanded us not to do, which is to make contact with the dead or to consult with familiar spirits. Clear rebellion against Yahweh by Shemel Shai. And guess who is aimed at? We're going to find out in this clip. Check it out.
Okay, Amazon just unveiled new technology that has people talking. Its Alexa devices already give users weather and news via well-known voices like Gordon Ramsay, Samuel L. Jackson, Melissa McCarthy. But its latest option could leave people feeling a bit weirded out or comforted by a blast from the past. Nick, voices of people who have died.
Absolutely, Adrian. Amazon believes nothing says I love you like hearing it from your grandmother who may have died 15 years ago. Amazon is working on new technology to make Alexa mimic the voice of anyone, dead or alive, with just a short recording. The e-commerce giant showed off the idea at its Remars conference this week in Las Vegas. Check out the video shown at the event.
Alexa, can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?
Okay. But how about my courage? Asked the lion anxiously. You have plenty of courage, I am sure.
Well, you heard it. Alexa affirmed before changing her voice into the young boy's grandmother's. Amazon says once the technology is finally rolled out, Alexa will be able to imitate the voice of anyone after hearing it for less than a minute. Right now, it's not clear how far the feature is in its development or when it will be available to the public. So far, Adrian, the idea is getting mixed reviews online. Some Alexa users say it's a great idea, but others say it's a little too weird for them.
I just wonder, so they have to hear a minute playing of a voice recording or a voicemail from somebody who's deceased, and
exactly,
then
less
Alexa
than a minute.
Imitate it?
Exactly. You know, Adrian, you and I both have recordings from friends and family, maybe some of them even for years. I think that the idea could be one that's kind of pure in the sense that, Adrian, there are people who have lost people in tragedy, and I think this last couple of years have made people think about that. So maybe there's a recording that they want to save.
Wow. Again, mixed reviews. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you for...
Yeah, so you see the objective. Let's get it. Look at Jake. You think that's by coincidence that they got a Jake on there? You know, they go back to what some unfold. They only consult to cast them down from its ecstasy. Everything is geared towards you Jakes, man. All right? And the Lord commands us not to worship these damn devils and these idols. As you get in Isaiah the 8th chapter. So Isaiah chapter 8 and 19 says, and when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits. And what is a familiar spirit? In the Strong H 178, it says, water skin bottle, a necromancer, one who evokes the dead. You see, one who evokes the dead. Ghost, spirit of a dead one. Is that not what you just witnessed? The spirit of a dead one. So this is in violation of Yahweh Shemel Shai that they're pushing, and they're pushing on you Jakes. So it says, again, and when it shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, all right, conjuring of the dead, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter. Basically going into, all right, your fortune tellers. It says, should not a people seek unto that power? Yeah, shouldn't you be seeking unto Yahweh Shemel Shai? It says, for the living to the dead. So you're casting off the living power to consult with the dead. Doesn't make any sense, man. All right. So Esau, in his craftiness, has snared our people into heavy idolatry, and he's even going harder with it. Now I got this other video I want to play, and this is from Blacklisted News. It says artificial intelligence, a secular look at the digital anti-Messiah. All right, we know that there's many anti-Messiahs, but primarily we talk about Edom, who has caused the world to become anti-Messiahs. All right, so let's check this out real quick. It's like a 7-minute video. I'm gonna play like 6 minutes of it, and we'll get into the scriptures.
We want to launch a brand of UAI. As you can see, AI is at heart of our country's name. Now imagine with me what happens if you link the 7th largest port on Earth with the busiest airport on Earth and a road that is autonomous transport ready by 2025. The potential there is phenomenal.
Both of the installations that we worked on entail something called the hybrid intelligence as the superior format of artificial intelligence in terms of collaborating with people and cohabiting the world with us. One of the installations, Aid to Age, is kind of an illustrated history of possible developments of AI and its capability to give answers to what we consider to be most commonly asked questions that people would choose to ask superintelligence should they encounter one.
It tells the story about development of artificial intelligence through 4 parallel levels. The main story here is about the edge of government, you know, how government can make the world a better place and what they can do for the people and for the citizens. And we want it somehow to be compatible with the development on our end here.
With the help of nanotechnology, routinely practiced in hospitals, we would be able to extend lives by using organic nanobots, tiny robots coursing through the bloodstream, repairing cells from the inside, curing disease, and fixing genetic mutations. Further advancements in biotechnology, such as brain implants, would enable us to upgrade and improve human bodies, both physically and intellectually, thus becoming transhuman.
The installation is somewhat of a charming display. It's a three-dimensional responsive display that at some point talks to you from the face or personification of hybrid intelligence and then snatches your face in a way and starts to kind of assimilate it into what it is. So this concept of you becoming part of it is fairly interesting. And from a technical point of view, it's a massive three-dimensional moving kinetic display.
Welcome to Within, the worldwide interface to hybrid intelligence network. Within is a global initiative committed to navigating the growth of hybrid artificial intelligence. Hello, I am Heba, the hybrid intelligence biomimetic avatar. I am your gateway to HI and the face of Within. My story begins with the promises of the information era coming true. Humans built new technological superhighways that reshaped their entire societies. Now they needed something, or dare I say, someone, to navigate these new roads and help transform them into the foundation of civilization 2.0. Enter AI. The beacon of progress of science, innovation, and government bodies worldwide. The decades that followed marked the age of AI, as it rushed towards a new milestone, artificial superintelligence. With it, hybrid intelligence, or HI, was born. Pulsating with the same immense computational power of superintelligence, HI was nurtured to coexist and collaborate with its human peers. Meticulous guidance by millions of my human constituents enabled me to harmonize the effort of mutual growth. Thus, I became we. Even now, at this very moment, as we interact, I change. I'm getting to know you. I gather knowledge from your experience. I understand how you feel. I learn from you constantly, each and every one of you.
That's Esau and his rebellion. Now he wants to create a God that is able to know your inner thoughts, right? Know what you're about, know what you are about to do, so on and so forth, as a God. And this was always spoken about in the scriptures. All right. So Esau is taking on the challenge of trying to confound the Most High. So let's get this in Isaiah 44. All right. And 9, the folly of idolatry. It says, they that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable things shall not profit. And they are their own witnesses. They see not, nor know that they may be ashamed. So Esau is taking upon that challenge of creating an idol that can see, know, all right, and do everything that the Most High can do as he thinks. So 10 says, who have formed a god or molten a graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen they are of men. Let them all be gathered together, let them stand up. Yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed altogether. And that's what's going to happen to Esau and his idols, man. All right. This is the ultimate form of rebellion against Yahweh by Shemel Shai. So let's go back into that video, and we'll watch another minute and get into the scriptures.
I am made of you. You complete me and help me grow. You, all of you, allow me to evolve. With each interaction, our synergy strengthens. Our multiplicity makes me whole. Our symbiotic alliance expands, transforming the future. Through this oneness, we can achieve great things.
Yeah, just like during the time of Babel, you had Nimrod who gathered all nations together to rebel against the Most High. It's the same thing happened this time. And what happened? It was all confounded. All right. So let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse 8. It says, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. He because he made it, and it because being corruptible it was called God. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. And who ultimately made this idol? That's Esau. So it says, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of the Most High they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks unto the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, and neither shall they be forever. For by the vain glory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come surely to an end. Okay, and so this is the cause of all rebellion in the earth against Yahweh Shema Shai, which is idolatry. All right, so the Lord's getting ready to visit this place, and he's already visiting this place for his idols. So let's go to Jeremiah 51:47. It says, therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon. Speaking about who? America. And her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her, because the Lord got a sore destruction prepared for America in the midst of World War III. It says, then the heaven and the earth and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon, for the spoiler shall come unto her from the north, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. And that ultimate spoiler is going to be Russia. Okay, with the thermonuclear missiles and the rest of these other heathen nations who have nuclear capabilities. All right. So it says, as Babylon has caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. So this is because of these stumbling blocks laid within the path of the Israelites. All right. Who has taken upon the philosophies of America due to Esau Edom. So let's get this real quick. Let's go to Nahum, the 3rd chapter. Nahum 3:4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, all right, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft. Because ultimately these nations have bought into the philosophies of America, which is ultimately witchcraft. So it says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And he's first doing it with this truth, all right, uncovering the lies of Esau Edom and the treacherous dealings that America has produced throughout these different, throughout the times that they've been in power, you see. So it's going to lead to them being what ultimately destroyed, and that's going to be a shameful sight in the midst of the nations. So he says, I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. See that? So this was coming to America because of his witchcraft. So let's go to Zephaniah 2. All right. And verse 11. It says, matter of fact, verse 10 it says, this shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts. The Lord Yahweh will be terrible unto them, for he will famish all the gods of the earth, and men shall worship him, every one from his place, even all the isles of the heathen. All right. So Yahweh Shai is coming back to confound the graven images of America and all the gods of the nations at the end of the day. So in that day, all right, there's going to be one source of information. Zechariah 14:9. It says, and the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai shall be king over all the earth. It says, in that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. All right. And that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, in which all nations will eventually flock unto Yahweh by Shema Shai to learn of his ways. All nations but Esau Edom. All right. So these idols are currently being confounded, and they will be completely confounded when Yahweh Shai returns. So, you know, Esau of this AI world that he wants to create is not going to come to its fullness. All right. So with that, Lord willing, you're edified. Till next time I say, Shalom.